Well, welcome. And let's start today in that easy seat. Pretty common place for us to start, but it always feels good to take a few moments here at the beginning to really check in with the body, ground down into those sit bones, soften the shoulders, and really be intentional about coming to your mat. Allowing yourself to settle in, really soften and slow the breath. Letting the mind clear out, leaving off of the mat anything that you have to do today or that's been happening, that just for now, while we're here, we can set that aside. Let's bring those hands right out in front. We'll grow tall. We're going to walk or slide those hands forward and then hang the head. We're going to walk those hands off to the left. Hang the head here first between those arms. And we're going to walk those hands all the way further off to the left. Plant that left hand and open up the right into that lateral stretch. And we'll lower that right arm. Walk those hands all the way through center. And first, just a little bit off to the right to get that stretch in the side. Hang the head. And then we'll walk those hands all the way over to the right. Plant that right hand. Sweep the left up and over. We're going to take each of these sides one more time. We're going to move through center this time. Plant that left hand, sweep the right. Through center, plant the left, or plant the right, sweep the left. And then as we come through center this time, let's reach that left hand behind us. Right hand to that left knee, tall spine as we twist. Inhale to reach tall. Exhale, we'll reach that right hand behind. Inhale, reaching tall. Exhale, we'll release. And we'll take some circles here. And we'll switch directions. And coming back into center, let's come to our tabletop. Hands and knees. And we'll keep going with those circles now in the hips. And the other way. And then as we find center and neutral, we'll take cat and cow. Inhaling to lift the gaze and really drop that belly button down toward the mat. Exhale, round the chest and the back. Tuck the chin, press the mat away for that tap. And then just use your breath to flow between, taking your time. One more. Back into neutral. We're going to take those left hands, or those hands, and walk them off to the left to about 90 degrees, and we'll gaze back at the feet. Moving through center, we'll walk those hands off to the right, and we'll gaze back on this side. And back around to center. We're going to widen those knees, touch the toes, and we'll sink back into a child's pose. Settling in here in the hips, grounding down to the mat. We're going to take that right hand, palm up, we'll slide it under the body. We'll lower that right ear all the way down to the mat. And we'll switch sides. Send that right hand overhead. Left hand palm up all the way under. Left ear coming down to the mat. And we'll send it back overhead. One more breath here in child's pose. And then we'll inhale, flow forward. Exhale, we'll tuck those toes and find that first down dog. On that inhale, we're going to come to plank. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then on 1, we're going to lower all the way down to the belly. Stack those forearms, and we'll rest that. Slowing that breath down. We're going to take our right hand, palm up. We're going to send it all the way under the body. Then we're going to bring this left foot into that tree, as if we're doing recline tree. Lower that right shoulder all the way down to the mat. Take our left arm, and we're going to open up into a twist. Try to keep this left knee on the mat, and only open up as far as feels okay for you. Nice twist here. we're going to take that left hand, bring it back around, slide our left leg back long, and we'll pull this right arm back underneath. And we're going to switch. So we'll take left palm up, slide that left arm all the way under. We'll pull the right foot up into reclined tree, lower that left shoulder, left hip, and the right arm will come up and over. Again, only as far as feels okay. If you're in tight quarters, like I was on the other side, you can bring that hand to the top hip as well. Right knee staying on the mat, slow, steady breath. And we'll bring this right arm back around. Slide that right leg long, bringing those forearms right underneath, elbows under the shoulders. We'll take a sphinx here, just getting a little love to the lower back. Growing up out of those shoulders. And we'll lower down, slide those hands underneath the shoulders, and we'll send it up and back for child's pose. Settling in. We'll walk those hands off toward the left, breathing down the right side of the body. We'll move through center, walk those hands off to the right. And back into center. One more breath here. And then on our inhale, we're going to come up to our tabletop. And first, let's take just a couple of those cat and cow. Using that breath to flow between inhale cow, exhale cat. One more. As we come into neutral, we're going to leave the hips high. Walk those hands away and find our puppy pose, melting the forehead and the heart down toward the mat. And we'll walk those hands all the way back underneath, and then we're going to take our hips side to side. And the next time those hips are off to the right, we'll let them stay there. And then we're gonna look over that right shoulder, trying to see our hip. And we'll move through center. We'll take those hips all the way off to the left, and then look over that left shoulder, trying to see our hip on this side. And we'll come back to center. We'll lower one of those hips, and we'll find seated. Let's bring soles of the feet together here first. You can adjust how close or how far you want those feet from the body. Growing tall will hinge. Find that fold. Find that edge of your stretch in around the shoulders and the head. We're going to roll up. Let's send that left foot out. We'll keep the sole of the right foot on the inside of that leg. Pull those left toes back towards you. Reach it tall, hinge and fold. And release. We'll switch sides. We'll send the right foot out. We'll keep the left sole of the foot on the inside of that right leg. Reaching tall, we'll hinge and fold. And release. We'll send both legs out long. All of those toes coming back towards us. We'll reach it tall and we'll hinge and fold. And release. And we're going to plant those feet and roll all the way down. Getting nice and settled. Adjust the shoulder blades. Settle those hips again. We're going to take some bridge. So we're going to walk our feet hips distance apart in a little bit toward the sit bones, relaxing arms and hands, staying soft across the chest. And then we'll lift and press into the feet and slowly lower back down. Taking your time as you press and lift all the way up. And as you come all the way down. I'll take one more. As you settle back in on the mat, we'll come into windshield wipers side to side. The next time those knees fall to the left, we'll let them settle in. Bringing our arms to whatever's comfortable out to our sides. We'll tip our gaze to the right. And we'll come up through center. We'll take the knees off to the right and we'll tip the gaze to the left. And we'll come back into center. Let's send the legs long. Reach those arms up overhead. Nice full body stretch here. And we'll pull both knees into chest. And we'll rock it out a little, right to left. If you want to find happy baby, grabbing the soles of the feet, feel free. Do whatever feels good. And we'll squeeze in. On that exhale, we'll release, relax, send those legs long down the mat. Let those arms be heavy by your sides. Settle the shoulders. Really let the head sink into the mat. And coming back to your mat. Taking up more space on the mat here, more connection points with the body and the mat. Feeling the breath as it flows in and as it flows out. Allowing yourselves these moments to rest, to be still, calm, heavy, relaxed. And slowly, maybe wiggle those toes, wiggle the fingers, maybe next. And begin to scan that body. Feel it heavy, at rest. Soak it in just for a couple more moments. And let's take a full body stretch before we roll to either side. One more time, lengthening out fully. And we'll gently roll to either side, off to the left or off to the right. A couple of breaths here to seal in our practice, all the good of this time on our mat, and really thank ourselves for coming and meeting ourselves on the mat today. Maybe exhaling out anything we don't want to take with us into the rest of our day or week. As you're ready, we'll press back up and meet in seated. Thank you very much for sharing practice with me today. The light in me greets, honors, and bows to the light in you. Namaste.